Do you know, for example, on average, in the Northern Hemisphere, January is the coldest month of the year. However, if you were in Australia, you'd be surrounded by twats. 30% of us refuse to sit on a public toilet seat, which is perhaps why there's shit all over the floor. And the longest kiss on record lasted 130 hours. I'd like to see two beautiful women try and beat that. Let's get started. Sean, your team to go first.
I think people have been talking about the story about Starbucks, that they leave a tap running in every single Starbucks all throughout the world. And apparently it's the Starbucks excuse, because obviously it's caused shock and horror as a waste, Starbucks excuse is that it's for hygiene reasons, because they put the spoons in it. So although it's not very hygienic, a tap running, isn't it? Because it attracts cats to sort of pour it. They love pouring the tap water, don't they? How ill can you get from a teaspoon? Anyway, I've got teaspoons in my house. They're disgusting. They look like they've passed through a Shire horse. I'm fine. Do you think there's a special hospital ward with people who can just blink one eyelid because they had a dirty teaspoon?
I'll tell you how ill you can get. Have you seen Pete Doherty?
Yeah.
That's all from teaspoons.
I had a friend in high school whose mother found out she was doing drugs, and she had antique spoons that she'd destroyed, and that was what she was more upset with than the fact that her daughter was doing heroin. That she ruined her antique spoons.
Her daughter was doing heroin. She's gone, "You've cooked up in the good spoons." You're a disgrace.
Well, you can make a new daughter, but you'd have to buy a new spoon.
You said that, Andy, like you'd make one in a lab.
When you look at Zoltan, you think he might have made a kid in the lab.
I don't know how you can waste water. We've got the same amount of water as we've ever had. We're mostly water. The problem is it's in the wrong place. It's in Starbucks rather than Africa. That's the problem. The only people wasting water are people going into space when it don't come back. That's the only people wasting water. Damn you, Aldrin!
Did you know that Starbucks is an anagram of burst taps? It's not. It's not. I just like to cheat. Nobody really checks up on anagrams. They just assume you've done the work. They go, "Oh, really?" Nobody goes, "Hold on a sec."
That is a shocking indictment on our studio audience that they went, "Yeah!"
You go into Starbucks, they do the fair trade question now. They go, do you want that as a fair trade coffee? And who in that situation goes, no, I want the other one. I don't want the fair trade, I want the Exploito. Give me the Exploito. Yeah,
Literally,
really want to
I
hurt
do.
some farmers, make it massive and put a picture of a crying child on it for me.
Let's see if Starbucks is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, Starbucks have been accused of wasting water by leaving taps constantly running. Starbucks have said the practice exists to exceed health and safety standards, and they're working on an alternative solution as a priority. I've got a solution for you. What's that? And then that. Did you know, for example, there are 759 pubs in Britain called the Red Lion? My favourite is the Red Lion. An eighth of all liposuction patients are now in a bin round the back of the hospital. And in Sweden, an average of 10 car crashes a day involve the death of a moose, which is why the Swedes are such a good-looking race. Let's get started. Sean, Jim, James, what have the nation been talking about?
Is it the tragic tale of the Madonna and Guy Ritchie divorce?
Were you just wiping away a tear?
Yeah. It's turned out to be quite acrimonious. Part of the problem is her Kabbalah faith. Like, in their house, she's banned Christmas. I was thinking, she's called Madonna, right? That's like Captain Birdseye banning fish.
I don't understand the bitterness that people would display. Like, everybody's rubbing their hands together with glee because they're splitting up. Oh, look at them, they enjoyed 7 years of marriage, the failures. All the relationships I've had only last as long as it takes us to pass a reasonable-looking or even just clean man on the street, and then they're off clawing desperately at his back. So I just find it quite sad.
Well, don't go out with cats. You pervert.
Are you a fan of his work, the Guy Ritchie?
Yeah, I just find it odd that every Guy Ritchie film that comes out has on the poster Ritchie back to his best, which, you know,
was just sort of above average. In the new film, it's all like, what is it about to be a rock and roller? I don't shiver git.
It bothers me that she's a mum, and if you look at all her recent videos, she's always in knickers, and we get it. OK, you work out, you've got a good body. Pants, put a little skirt on, perhaps, a pair of shorts.
I think for her age, she still looks quite fit. She is 80, isn't she?
I think she should come on in an orange. Just her little hands and arms, like a promotion. You know, like when they promote a new drink and someone dresses up as an orange? Yeah. Why doesn't she have a bit of fun, have a laugh with it now? Yeah. Madonna's orange tour, she just comes out in an orange. Rolls around the stage.
For the encore, she comes out as like a hot dog.
Yeah.
Voguing in it.
Yeah. A banana, face in a banana.
OK, let's see if Madonna and Guy Ritchie are one of the most talked about things this week. This is the continuing story of Madonna and Guy Ritchie's divorce. They used to have great nights out down the pub. Old, peculiar, bitter. Just 3 reasons why he chose to divorce her. OK, Jason, Olivia and Charlie, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Is it the government releasing these UFO files or Operation Keep Everyone's Mind Off the Economy? Apparently, we're being visited by 11,000 UFOs or something. Only 5% are actually unidentified flying objects. The rest are like planes and stuff like that. And I think they can be sort of whittled down to 5% of people are mental. Yeah. There was one bloke who spotted a UFO land on a bypass in Somerset, right? It landed. 2 figures got out, dressed in black, and one of them checked the engine. Who is flying at light speeds to get here? One of them's gone, oh, cam belt's gone.
People never spot these things in, like, London.
Yeah.
Or Paris or anywhere where people are generally looking up at great things. Like, there's always someone looking up at the Eiffel Tower. And there's never been a single thing. It's always like Norwich. The only people they seem to target are people that are a bit weird with really shit camera equipment.
I've been abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
We all
Loads
have.
of times. I had to take out a restraining order. I put it up on my bedroom door. I heard them come upstairs and go...
What happened when you were abducted?
They said, do you know, where's Jimmy Carr live? We want to bring him home.
Let's have a look and see if UFOs are one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this week the Ministry of Defence have released files about past UFO sightings. I didn't want to admit I'd seen a UFO in case I was branded a nutter, said one nutter. Sean? Jim, James, what else have the nation been talking about?
The American election?
This week, Colin Powell came out in support of Barack Obama, didn't he? Which was quite unusual because Barack's a Democrat and Colin's a Republican. So...
Sarah Palin, isn't it? That's her name,
yeah,
the woman.
Yeah.
The more right-wing she gets, the more attractive I'm starting to find her. Is that wrong? Like a sexy Hitler.
Isn't a sexy Hitler you, Jimmy?
I do not really get the joke.
Do you really find her attractive, though?
No, truly.
People say they find her attractive, but I think it would be like sticking your dick into a swirling vortex of hate.
That's what I want in a wife.
Last time you came on, you were sexually aroused by Barack Obama.
The whole... I am so into the election, I'm Sky Plus-ing the debates.
Yeah. I think a lot of the politics, James, is going over your head, though.
Charlie, you presumably you watch an unimaginable amount of TV. Have you watched the debates?
I did watch the debates. I watched the debates on CNN, which was mesmerising, because they had a little voter approval graph at the bottom, which was like a wobbly line hooked up to some Ohio voters, and they'd twist a dial. If one of them said something they'd like, they'd twist a dial up, and if they didn't like it, they'd twist it down. So there's this wobbly line going. And all you did was end up staring at the line. And then I was kind of thinking it would be nice if people had those approval graphs on their heads when you were talking to them, so you could tell if they were interested in what you were saying or not. And then I realised that's basically facial expressions.
Okay, well, that incredibly, it's not one of the most talked about things this week. It's been in the news a lot, but not one of the most talked about. The US election campaign continues. John McCain has a purple heart from his days in the army. He also has a purple face and shooting pains up his left arm. If McCain wins, he says he'll start with a clean sheet, which he'll cut 2 eye holes in and then pop over his head. Did you know, for example, 46% of women spend over an hour a day gossiping? At least that's what Judy at the Royal Association of Statisticians told Marlene at the National Audit Office. Cheerleading accounts for 54% of all injuries in American high schools. Oh dear, I seem to have broken your hymen. And the average person loses 50% of their taste buds by the time they're 60, so it is OK for your nana to live on cat food. Let's get started. Sean, Chris and Nikki, you're to choose first. What would you like the look of?
We'll go for the dog.
OK. 25% of dogs have had alternative therapies, true or false?
What was that? Was Reiki she was doing? Was
that
it?
was Reiki, yeah.
She's telling the owner what the dog needs.
The owner is telling her through the incredible power of being mental what the dog is thinking. I mean mental as in she's got a mental connection with it. I'm not suggesting the woman is mental.
When you get a dog outfit and you just come in and sit there and read a paper in front of your dog, it freaks them out. You do all the like human things, but just dressed as a dog and go, well, just do really very banal human things in front of the dog dressed as a dog, and it drives him mad.
I think, Johnny, though, I think you'll start a craze. Invest in dog suits.
I zip off the dog suit and do like 500,000 years of evolution and become a man. Like
Men didn't actually evolve from dogs. That's not a thing.
We're evolving into...
Do you know what? 5 stages of evolution, and the one thing they're missing off the beginning is a poodle.
It's dog, Neanderthal man, sort of Cro-Magnon man, then there's like a chicken, and then it goes on into human. Johnny's map of evolution. For about 6 months, we were a chicken!
So 25% of dogs have had alternative therapies, true or false? What do you think, Sean?
I don't think anyone would do that. I think it's false.
But dog whispering's alternative, right? So I think it could be true.
Do you know, I do a bit of dog whispering. Sit down! Sit!
That's spitting, darling.
Oh, sorry.
What do you think, true or false?
False.
You're going false? All right. You guys, what do you think, true or false?
I just think, what are you stressed about? I've never seen a dog that stresses. Every day is the happiest day of its life, isn't it? It just wakes up like, oh, I'm awake! Woo! It's true. You think true? Well, we're going to go with Johnny Vegas.
OK, so you're going true. I can tell you the answer is true. Yes. 25% of dogs have had alternative therapies. OK, Jason, your team to choose. What do you want to go for?
We've got this fat person.
I prefer the term colleague.
Let's go with fat. We know fat. If there's one thing this team knows, it's fat.
OK. You've chosen the fat man. That is a picture of the world's largest man who got married this week, OK? We polled the audience and asked them, if your partner became morbidly obese, would you leave them?
Well, they couldn't follow you, could they? I mean, you could basically pack your bag while they're sat there. You couldn't wait until they go out. You just walk around going, go on, try and grab my leg as I go past you.
I think if you've married this bloke, and, you know, obviously stage 1 is when you had to have your wedding photos done on Google Earth. You know, I think we've got a problem here, love.
He lost 39 stone to get married. That's a lot of weight to lose, I think.
That's a lot of love.
You'd be annoyed if you were in the same Weight Watchers group as him. Would you leave your partner if they became morbidly obese?
That's the rule. You get
That's
fat,
the
you're
rule.
out.
The best way to do it is to, in your front door, you've got your front door, open the front door, and then have like a cutout of a shape that you feel is satisfactory for them to enter the property. And if they can't get through it, I'm sorry, it's the highway.
OK, Jason, I'm going to push you for an answer.
I'm going to go yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I would.
Can I join your team?
Go on, take your chair with you.
Come on.
No, I'm afraid we can't do it. No, not for ballast. I'm afraid we can't.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Johnny.
It's good over there!
So you're saying people would leave their partner if they were morbidly obese?
I think so, yeah.
OK, and you're saying, Sean?
No, I think people wouldn't.
OK, well, I can tell you, Sean, you're absolutely right. Our studio audience said no, they wouldn't leave their partner if they became morbidly obese. So an incredibly fat man has tied the knot. He's the world's fattest bridegroom, and she's the world's flattest bride. So at the end of that round, I can tell you it's 3 points for Sean's new team and 4 points for Jason's new team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. Top topic of conversation while getting drunk.
Oh, now we've lost Johnny Vegas.
I signed him in the transfer window.
Johnny, what do you normally talk about when you're drunk?
Dog suits. And occasionally, the worst funeral you've ever been to.
Is the conversation I'm all right to go on this morning?
I can't stand... I've tasted it a couple of times, but lager. I remember my mates going, no, of course you don't like it. Nobody likes it first. You've got to learn to like it. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Yeah,
I didn't have to learn to like anything else that I like. Like Jaffa Cakes, bang, first time. I saw the packet and knew I was going to like them.
It's probably sport, isn't it? Something like sport.
That is the right answer.
Oh, well done.
Is it?
Yes, the top topic of conversation whilst drunk is sport. When I stumble in drunk and leering after a night on the town, my girlfriend knows there's only one thing I want, my second Bacardi Breezer. OK, most popular gadget for women?
Etch-a-sketch. Everyone loves an Etch-a-sketch.
Is it a Sky Plus box that doesn't record any of the Brucey bits in Strictly Come Dancing?
Brucey on that. I'd like to think... Because at some stage he's going to die live on a Saturday night. I like that.
Resign.
I'd like to resign. I'm an admirer of Bruce Forsyth. He's a beloved character, and I'd like to resign.
I know what it would be. It'd be a toaster. You put in bread, shoes come up.
Oh, that's
Great idea.
What am I like?
No, I think it is. I think it's an iron with a telly in it.
I'd like to apologise to any women not watching this in the 1970s.
You'd love that. No, I'd like that.
Yeah. And a phone as well. Oh, shit!
Even worse. Bloody got a phone abroad.
I think I know what it is. Hair straighteners.
That is the correct answer from Johnny Vegas. Yes, the most popular gadget for women is hair straighteners.
Is it the government releasing these UFO files or Operation Keep Everyone's Mind Off the Economy? Apparently we're being visited by 11,000 UFOs or something. Only 5% are actually unidentified flying objects. The rest are like planes and stuff like that. And I think they can be sort of whittled down to 5% of people are mental.
Yeah.
There was one bloke who spotted a UFO land on a bypass in Somerset, right? It landed. 2 figures got out, dressed in black, and one of them checked the engine. Who is flying at light speeds to get here? One of them's gone, oh, cam belt's gone.
People never spot these things in, like, London.
Yeah.
Or Paris or anywhere where people are generally looking up at great things. Like, there's always someone looking up at the Eiffel Tower. And there's never been a single thing. It's always like Norwich. The only people they seem to target are people that are a bit weird with really shit camera equipment.
I've been abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
We all
Loads
have.
of times. I had to take out a restraining order. I put it up on my bedroom door. I heard them come upstairs and go...
What happened when you were abducted?
They said, do you know, where's Jimmy Carr live? We want to bring him home.
The American election?
This week, Colin Powell came out in support of Barack Obama, didn't he? Which was quite unusual because Barack's a Democrat and Colin's a Republican.
Sarah Palin, isn't it? That's her name,
yeah,
the woman. Yeah. The more right-wing she gets, the more attractive I'm starting to find her. Is that wrong? Like a sexy Hitler.
Isn't a sexy Hitler you, Jimmy?
I do not really get the joke.
Do you really find her attractive, though?
No, truly.
People say they find her attractive, but I think it would be like sticking your dick into a swirling vortex of hate.
That's what I want in a wife.
Last time you came on, you were sexually aroused by Barack Obama.
The whole... I am so into the election, I'm Sky Plus in the debates.
Yeah. I think a lot of the politics, James, is going over your head, though.
Charlie, you presumably watch an unimaginable amount of TV. Have you watched the debates?
I did watch the debates. I watched the debates on CNN, which was mesmerising, because they had a little voter approval graph at the bottom, which was like a wobbly line, hooked up to some Ohio voters, and they twist a dial. If one of them said something they'd like, they'd twist a dial up, and if they didn't like it, they'd twist it down. So there's this wobbly line going. And all you did was end up staring at the line. And then I was kind of thinking it would be nice if people had those approval graphs on their heads when you were talking to them, so you could tell if they were interested in what you were saying or not. And then I realised that's basically facial expressions.
Okay, well, incredibly, it's not one of the most talked about things this week. It's been in the news a lot, but not one of the most talked about. The US election campaign continues. John McCain has a purple heart from his days in the army. He also has a purple face and shooting pains up his left arm. If McCain wins, he says he'll start with a clean sheet, which he'll cut 2 eye holes in and then pop over his head. OK, Jason, back over to you. What else of the nation are we talking about?
Well, we think it might be Omar Bakri slagging off the X Factor. He says it's against Islam.
That's because the auditions are held at Mecca, but he thinks it's the city, not the bingo hall. He's got a bit mixed up. I think he should approve of Danny Minogue, because she, in a way, is kind of wearing a burqa, isn't he? Yeah. If you look at her face, the only thing that moves is her eyes. It's like she's wearing a flesh burqa.
Flesh burqa.
She does, she just sits there and goes... Nothing moves. Even when she talks, her lips don't move. The thing I really don't like about the X Factor is when they do... You know, they do the same songs over and over again, so people do, like, unique interpretations of songs, don't they? So someone will go, I believe children of future... And you know, they do stuff like that with the song. And I think,
oh, stop it, Sean.
Stop it. I don't like the song anyway. You're taking something I hate and making it worse.
I don't like the little 4-year-old boy who's wandered on by mistake. The one who looks like... he looks like a fetus. He looks like a fetus of Jamie Oliver. They've been growing in a bag and they've accidentally let him out and now he's singing about his bloody problems.
That's what they should do with the X Factor now, because he's put a fatwa on the show, right? So I just say, execute the next person that's voted off, and then we'll just call it quits. Because when they're gone, they're dead to us anyway. If JLS go this Saturday, I won't mind if they're shot.
You could have a record contract. You, not great news.
Maybe Al-Qaeda have just caught on to the fact that to get any publicity in this country, you have to attach yourself to celebrity. They've realised, they've thought to themselves, well, obviously, that's the only way we're going to get any attention if we have a go at celebrities. I wouldn't be surprised if soon Osama bin Laden is releasing his own fragrance in time for Christmas. It's called, like, Infidel. Infidel. It only comes in 50ml bottles, so you can take it on a plane.
Is it the pilot who's been accused of being drunk on the passenger jet and he was taken off by police? I thought I'd love to have been there, because police are always a little bit smart-arsed, aren't they? You know, and they're arresting someone like, step out of the plane, sir. It's your plane, is it? What speed you were doing? 600 mile an hour. Yeah, I know.
They're all making a hoo-ha out of it. It's automatic. All he's got to do is press a button. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's trickier than that.
You can't even work straighteners.
I did this with straighteners, actually.
GHD?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get the new ones?
The new pink ones.
The new pink ones are amazing, aren't they?
All right, got one. Come on,
Jimmy. I think this is a sad story, because you just think to yourself, is there nothing you can drive when you're pissed? Is this what it's come to? You can't drive a car, you can't fly a plane, a boat, a bicycle. I mean, what is there left for us? The man with the arms.
It's been announced that the world's first double arm transplant is recovering well, so we polled our studio audience and asked them, if you lost an arm, would you rather have a robotic arm or someone else's as a replacement?
This is the guy he had in Germany, didn't he? He had two arms transplanted on.
But didn't he lose his arms in a shredder?
Yeah, he's a farmer.
Yeah, how do you lose two arms? Like, did one arm go in and you go, oh, I better get that back. Oh, now look what I've done.
Wouldn't it be a bit like sawing a leg off a chair? Like, he lost a few fingers and then he thought that doesn't even out, so I'll just shove a bit more of this arm in.
Guy, when he recovers, he can do things like he can just go bang, hit someone in the face.
Not
go,
me.
Not me. With my arm. Apparently, the guy was a nutter.
God, I find it so strange if I was going out with a guy and he was, you know, getting a bit busy, romancing, and he just said, you know, these aren't my hands.
What if, though, Olivia, he was getting busy in the bedroom, you're getting a bit amorous, things are getting heated, he pulls away, the arm stays. The alternative for this guy, as opposed to getting someone else's arms, robotic arms.
If I did get a robot arm, I'd want it not to be just like a claw, like an Abu Hansa. I'd want it to have, like, Swiss Army knife functions. I'd like a bottle opener, a corkscrew.
He wants a frying pan there and a whisk.
It's got to be Manchester City becoming the richest club in the world. We can buy anyone. This Arab bloke who's worth 500 billion, let's say pounds.
Do you think it'll change anything, though, at the club?
Well, I think it's one of those things, Carol, where if it was any other club, I'd say it's terrible for football. Because it's my club, I think it's brilliant.
Yeah,
That's how it works, I think,
but
isn't it?
you know, famously, they don't drink, they're going to ban booze and everyone's, you know, dress code, all that. I mean...
I say good luck with that.
It's a bit worrying.
They've put a bid in for 130 million for Ronaldo, which, even though Real Madrid were offering 60 million, this guy's come and gone, I'll give you 130 million! And you go, how are you so rich when you're at Hagley?
He's a trillionaire, isn't he, this new owner?
They're making up new words now.
Yeah, he's a trillionaire. He's 31. He's on the telly. He's younger than me. That's the more I read about him, the more he's making me feel like a bit of a loser.
Don't say that, Alan. Do not say that.
Hey, I'm 33, Jimmy, and I'm not even a billionaire yet.
Seriously?
Seriously, yeah.
He was 14 and he was already selling on the stock exchange.
No.
I was thinking, when I was 14, I was doing wheelies and chasing girls with poo on the end of a stick.
We had a guy at West Ham, and I'm a West Ham fan, and we were really struggling with...
You were struggling? West Ham?
When was this? Don't act like you know anything.
Jimmy thinks West Ham something you get in a delicatessen.
So we're sat, and we're doing really I think we're losing like 4-0. The guy behind went, we just need a striker. We need someone like Michael Owen or Ruud van Nistelrooy. So, yeah, we know that. They're brilliant footballers. And someone like Cristiano Ronaldo. Yes, we do, but we can't afford him.
Well, that's really nicely.
I'm worried about this new rich owner of Man City just exaggerating the gap between rich and poor in football clubs, because this summer I actually paid £100 for a Huddersfield Town season ticket, and I got a letter yesterday saying that I now technically own the club.
Hurricane Gustav, which was supposed to devastate New Orleans this week, didn't. It just missed it, didn't it? Just went just off to the left.
I was watching it with my mum when it was happening. I came in...
Nice cup of tea, all get together. Come on, let's watch the floods.
No, I came home and she said, you're not going to believe it, there's another hurricane and it's going to hit New Orleans. I said, oh, my God. She went, yeah, it's already hit someone called Gustav. I went, Mum, no, it's a hurricane, Gustav. It's called Hurricane Gustav. She went, oh, that does make more sense.
I've got two questions. Firstly, all these hurricanes keep hitting New Orleans, which proves my theory that God hates jazz.
Yeah, you've still not written up that report, have you?
No. But what they should have done when they evacuated, because all the trumpets would be left behind, wouldn't they? They should have nailed all the trumpets to a post, so when the hurricane hit, it would have blown like... Could have played like...
Look, there's always looting as well in this situation. I just think looting is a weird thing to... sort of a weird mental stage that you're thinking, everyone's going to die, but if I'm going to die, I want a 50-inch plasma telly before I go and use it as a boat.
Where are you going to plug it in, though?
Where are they going to plug it in,
There's
Carol?
like water everywhere. You can't, can you? Bit of a waste.
Yeah, that's the real tragedy. That is the Nick telly can't be plugged in.
There's good and bad sides to the
What?
credit
What's
crunch.
good?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't think 125% mortgages were ever a really good idea. I think they were ridiculous. To start the life of the ownership of your home owning 25% less than something of it, that blows my mind. My maths isn't good. That means you can be standing in the house you've just bought, someone can walk past outside and they own more of it than you do. That's mental, isn't it?
That is true.
It's a brilliant point.
You can't blame that on the banks or...
Yeah, no, I think you can blame it on the banks.
No!
It's only ever
You
gonna
definitely
work
can.
You don't have to. No one's making you take that low now.
There, I've done it.
Stop saying that.
Right, can I just have a look at the ring on your finger? And you're worried about the credit crunch. I think you're going to be all right, love.
No, it's not real, all right? It's
Is
not
it-
real.
well, how come I can
don't
see
mug
it?
me on the way home.
Is it Elizabeth Duke? Is it?
No, shut up! It looks nice.
Oh, there's a credit crunch. It's going to be terrible. For the poor. Let them eat
Stop
cake.
Are you struggling in the credit crunch, Jimmy? Are you downsizing because your face is getting smaller? So.
My face is getting smaller. It had to go somewhere.
There's an even better side to the credit crunch. The best side of it is a lot more people are enjoying the experience of shopping at Lidl. Which, as everyone knows, is really like being on holiday. In Moldova.
That's exactly it.
I'm in
exactly what it is.
Moldova. And you go, what is this? I don't know. I'm just going to open it and see.
Well, you do
Puffin hearts. I thought it was fuses.
Puffin hearts.
Oh, darling, we've run out of schnazzle scrodge.
Is it the Cold War II?
Oh, yeah.
Russia's revenge. So when I saw, because the map come up on the news, like, and obviously we're there because of GMT, right? And America's there, and Russia was there, and I thought, we're right in the middle. We're right in the middle, aren't we? If they start bombing each other, one might come astray, and then I realised we're not flat, are we? We're not flat. That's round. There's a back bit, isn't there? There's a back bit. They could just go round that way, so it. Don't matter.
They have got weapons that will reach us.
They don't need them. They got Putin.
Yeah, but it's, I know
He's so hard, isn't he?
Yeah.
They just fire him out of a cannon with his fist.
Well, the problem that Europe have got is that Russia have a lot of gas and oil that we need. So, essentially, we need to stay on good terms with Russia.
Not if you're a Manchester City fan, my friend. We've got our own supply.
Is that why it's called the Cold War? Because they've got all the gas and the oil and they can provide heat.
It's a good idea. I like it.
They turn it off.
No, is it? That's why they've waited till September to start it, because we're getting to Is that the reason?
That is the reason. In a poll to find out which celebrity people dream about, Gordon Ramsay came second. Who came top?
Was God number one? He's a big celebrity, isn't he? God.
It's pretty popular.
You know, God. Have you heard of God?
Well, he can't be a celebrity, can he? Because we're not sure he exists.
I've got no factual proof Gordon Ramsay exists.
Well, Jesus existed, and he's hot. He's the hottest Jew on a stick, so I'd say Jesus.
Sorry, Jesus is the... What? How do you describe Jesus again?
He's the hottest Jew on a stick.
Sorry.
He's the hottest Jew on a stick.
He's the hottest Jew on a stick?
Yeah. You'd ruffle some feathers at a synod, wouldn't you? He's the hottest Jew on a stick! We go, Archbishop go...
I can see why Gordon Ramsay's there, because he's always getting his shirt off, isn't he, on the telly? Every time he does that, Kitchen Nightmares, he's always talking about I'm just going to do my shirt up while I say, this place is a hole, there's rats in the fridge, you're just going up there. Always there, just put your shirt on before we put our shirts on, before we come on the telly, you weird, freckly head. What's going on with his forehead as well? What are those marks on his forehead?
Yeah, but if you're a chef in a kitchen, you've only got two hands, you can keep stuff in them.
Oh, I think he's nice and rugged.
You think he's nice and rugged?
Yeah, I'm exempt about him, though.
Who do you dream about?
Richard Madeley, usually.
Judy Finnegan will scratch your f***ing eyes out, love.
I know. Well, no, she knows. But also, I had a really...
You heard it here first.
She knows I do that.
Top celebrity that people
Is
dream
it Bill
about.
Brad Pitt?
Well, it's the right area.
Oh, Angelina Jolie.
Correct answer.
Ah.
Huge. Thank you.
Did you know, for example, 1 in 10 Europeans is now conceived on an IKEA bed? And for similar reasons, I'm no longer welcome at the Croydon branch of DFS. 26% of New Yorkers have herpes. If you can catch it there, you can catch it anywhere. And 62% of people think that being single gives them the chance to be more spontaneous. I've got no plans tonight, so should I sob myself to sleep or comfort eat? Let's get started. Sean, Tara, Doug, what have the nation been talking about?
George Michael. Hooray!
He was on crack.
But that's the thing.
Well, that's fair enough.
Tara, let's not people in glass houses. Do you think he's got a problem?
Yeah, I clearly think he's got a problem. But I like George Michael. I'm a big fan. I like his music, but I do think he does have a problem because he's on crack. He's caught in Hampstead Heath. I mean, how long have you got?
How dare he think he owns his own body and can do whatever he wants with it? How dare he? I don't understand why people that get in positions like that apologize. He's apologizing to his public as though he has any responsibility to...
Why is he apologising? Well, it does seem a bit odd, because most of the best music that's ever been created has been done on drugs.
Yeah, but not on drugs in toilets.
One of his fans has said he's done it because he's been on tour, now he's not on tour, and it's empty, he's got nothing to do. But I thought, when my granddad retired, he didn't start bumming and taking crack in toilets.
I think one of the reasons about the toilets, public toilets, there's a lot of tension in public toilets, especially men's urinals. If you're standing at urinal with 5 or 6 other men, it's a very tense environment.
Yeah,
all you have to do is just do, like, a little shimmy, and it causes blind panic. Jesus Christ! What's going on? What are you up to? They are very tense places, and there's also that I think he gets ideas. You know that nonchalant whistling they have in toilets? Where if you're in a toilet, you hear someone going...
What does that mean?
And it's really worrying when it stops. That's where I reckon he got the idea for the sax solo in Careless Whisper.
But they are disgusting as well. Bloke's toilet, basically, somebody went in about 15 years ago, got their cock out, started pissing and spinning round. And then every so often a member of staff goes in, signs the name on a wall and then walks back out again.
My favourite one is there's one on the A1 in the services, and it says on the outside of the toilet sort of thing, it says, these facilities are checked weekly. Like, if you don't care, don't check them. Yeah, we check weekly. They open the door and go, that's a shithole. Job done.
I went to Knutsford Services and it said this toilet will be cleaned again in 26 minutes. There's a big countdown display.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I like watching the toilets getting cleaned as much as you do, but I'm not waiting 26 minutes. 20 minutes is the absolute cut-off for me. So I know what I'll do. I'll have half a shit here, push on and try and catch the cleaners in Kiel. That's what I thought.
Right, let's have a look and see whether George Michael is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that George Michael has been arrested in a public lavatory again. George Michael does practice safe sex. He keeps one foot up against the cubicle door. Jason, Ulrika, Rod, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
I think it's got to be David Blaine. He's supposed to be a magician, and his latest trick is hanging upside down for 60 hours. You're like, that's not a trick, is it? What happened to proper magic? And when you see a magician, you want to go, I wonder how he did that. Not, what a prick.
Right, let's have a look at a picture of the little fella in action. There he is. That's him upside down.
I used to hate David Copperfield till he came along. Now I quite miss the spangly blow-dried ponce. His formula of magic, whatever he does, seems to be really awkward, plus time, plus catheter. They're all about things where he can't really go for a piss.
How does the catheter work going up? Is there a nurse in the house?
Because George Michael's on the other end sucking it.
I met him once, actually.
Oh, go on, what did you think?
Yeah, and I really did believe he was magic in the beginning. And so then he said, can I take your number? And I went, well, that's fine. He goes, I'll remember it, just give it to me. And I went, 0783. He goes, can I just borrow a pen? So he clearly is not magic at all.
But that's what what's annoying about his endurance tricks? They've got progressively worse and less
The
impressive.
first one was good when he
First
stood up
one,
on...
You know, so he's done that. He stood on a pole for a long time, right? He was in
was a
some
long
ice, right? He was in some ice. That was pretty impressive. And then gradually, you know, now he's like, I'm hanging upside down for a couple of days, and every so often I'm going to have a bit of a rest. And I expect his next one's just going to be, for my next trick, I'm going to put some fruit pastels in my mouth, and I'm not going to chew.
Jason, have you spent the first 2 minutes of the show writing with a biro? Well, let's have a look and see whether David Blaine is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story of David Blaine hanging upside down for 60 hours. David Blaine is hanging upside down with only electromagnetic boots holding him up. Let's hope there's not a power cut, or we won't be able to watch him fall to his death. OK, Sean, back over to you. What else do you think the nation should be talking about?
Golf.
Golf? What about golf?
Ryder Cup. Actually, Europe lost the Ryder Cup to America. I think the weird thing about it is the BBC say, and the Ryder Cup is on Radio 5 Live. And you think, no, it's not. It's on Sky Sports, the Ryder Cup. Listening to golf on the radio has got to be the most pointless experience known to man. If you were a mole at the course, you'd have a better idea of what's going on. You just hear like, oh, I think it might be in. You listen to it, you go, he's knocked it quite near the hole, and it's a bit nearer, and now it's in. That's it. It's just the most pointless thing. It's better off just listening to central heating. Use of your time. That's all the BBC's got.
Did you watch any of the golf?
I hate golf. That's not true.
Why'd you say it then?
You are like a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
I know.
I hate golf. Aha, or do I?
The big story in the Ryder Cup was Sandwich-gate. They called it Sandwich-gate, which was... Nick Faldo got in trouble because he was holding the piece of paper with all the names of the golfers on and how they were going to play and how they were going to line up against the Americans. And someone took a picture of it, and afterwards he went, no, that was the sandwich order. That was a sandwich order for dinner. That wasn't anything tactical. It was a sandwich order. Like, Nick Faldo, the millionaire golfer, is also doing the catering for the tour. You're halfway through a book. Nick, get us an ham and pickle. All right, mate.
Have you ever played golf?
I have tried to play golf.
You've tried to play it?
Yeah, but I always break windows because I practice at home and it always...
You always break windows? Yeah, you should practice outside, I think, is one of the key things.
No, I play outside, but... It
Towards the
big
house.
house.
You golf
Jimmy.
overhand?
No, the next one's in Wales, isn't it? Next...
Yes, it is, yeah.
Ryder Cup. Newport.
Newport.
Yeah. Beautiful place.
No. Let's have a look and see if the golf was one of the most talked about things this week. I don't know much about golf, Nick Faldo, but if you can't get your players to chip a ball through a windmill and into a clown's mouth, you don't deserve to win. OK, Jason, over to you. What else have the nation been talking about?
Well, the front page of the papers were all about Gordon Brown having a kiss off his wife, and all the headlines in all the papers were kiss of life.
Kiss of wife.
Kiss of wife, of course. And stand by your man, that was another headline. Apart from the Daily Star, which headline was Robbie Williams in gorilla suit.
No, I thought it was quite interesting. It's incredibly well received, his speech today. And I thought there's a danger that Gordon Brown will think everything's going to be fine now, but I don't think that's the case. Because there's nothing that's going to save Gordon Brown. If he was assassinated, it wouldn't help him.
It's kind of like...
He could walk in with, like, Bin Laden on a lead, barking like a dog. Too late, mate. Too late. You haven't done enough.
Ulrika, do you support Labour? Do you like Gordon Brown?
He's like a bridesmaid who's really probably not meant to have ever been a bride.
If you're watching Spinsters, hi!
I did really quite fancy him when I met him.
I think, you know...
I did.
Oh, literally, I will be going, oh.
Yeah, but I did screw Sven Göran Eriksson too, so that is slightly...
Allegedly.
What do you mean, allegedly? You just said it. You can only really do that about other people. Let's see if Gordon Brown is one of the most talked about things this week.
It's all out of mystery.
Yes, it was the Labour Party conference this week. To stabilise the economy, Brown promised tighter financial regulations, and so long as he manages to implement them, by April of last year, we'll all be fine. Ruth Kelly has resigned as Transport Secretary in order to spend more time with her family. It's bad news for Gordon Brown and terrible news for her family. OK, fingers on buzzers. One more thing to get. What else has the nation been talking about?
Is it this thing about apparently 1 in 50-pound coins is a fake? And you can tell if they're frayed at the edges and it's not very good, you know, not very good quality.
Not very good. Sorry, what are you doing there? Scratch
very good
cards?
quality.
I'm not from the north, so I don't do the scratch cards.
Yes, you are. They said you can tell that these pound coins are false is because you can test them in vending machines, that reliable piece of equipment, a vending machine, right? And I thought, when I've done that, you have done that thing, haven't you, when you put £1 in for a can of Coke or something and it's come back out and you do, then the next bit you, like, give it a little, make it wet, like, lick it a little bit and then put it back in, see if that works. And then I always do this last one where I try and take the vending machine by surprise. Where I just sort of hold it there just for a second and then just sort of go, is that Johnny Depp? Vending machine.
I can tell you that fake pound coins was not one of the most talked about things this week. But yes, this is the story that there are 30 million fake £1 coins in circulation. You can tell they're fake because if you look really closely, the Queen is Helen Mirren. One more thing to get things on buzzers.
Stonehenge?
Stonehenge.
Tara, I don't want to be niggly about the rules, but if someone else says it first, and then you say it directly afterwards...
You said it, Tara, though, like it was a trigger word for an assassin.
So, Ulrika.
They've been spending a long time trying to decipher what actually went on at Stonehenge, and it turns out that it was a place of healing, potentially. It's a bit like a sort of A&E department.
You're right, they said it was a hospital because a lot of the people that they found buried there had died from things like illness.
I want to hear what Tara's got to say, because you did say Stonehenge with such gusto.
I live near Stonehenge. Yeah, it is a place of well-being. Quick spliff, sunset.
OK, let's have a look and see if Stonehenge is one of the most talked about things this week. Yes, this is the story that Stonehenge used to be an ancient hospital. We know this because some of the patients from then are still on the waiting list. You can find out more about this story by watching Time Team, if there's absolutely nothing else on.
Super Gordon Brown. Flash Gordon. Yeah.
A one-eyed genius.
One-eyed genius. He sorted the country out. He sorted the world out.
You know that there's this thing about a baby boom going on. That during the credit crunch, people are staying in more and having kids. And me and my wife, well, we're not married, but I call her wife because girlfriend sounds too insignificant. Partner I don't like, and lodger she hates. So... We're having a baby. We're having another baby. And on Thursday, when the sort of financial system was really going into meltdown, we had a scan. We had a 20-week scan, and the sonographer was scanning her stomach, and she turned to me and she said, "Do you want to know whether it's a boy or a girl?" And the first thought that came to my head was, "I'd rather know if my money's safe at Lloyd's."
You know this £50 billion that we've paid the banks? Is it still going to take 5 days to clear? Or will it amazingly clear straight away?
But one of the problems has been that people are spending more than they've got, just as society. It's become visible, even. I knew it. I spotted it months ago. I saw a Bentley car in Dewsbury. Now, that's a £200,000 car, and Dewsbury itself is only worth £180,000.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I don't know that much about it. I know Iceland are involved somewhere. Does that mean there's any chance of Kerry Katona losing her Iceland contract? Because she is the reason I and druggy mums go to Iceland. Can anyone answer that?
The confusing thing about it is Iceland, the country, do actually own Iceland, the business.
No way.
They definitely do.
I'd like to see the new strapline, like, Mum's gone to Iceland to get our money back.
In the 70s, there was a war over cod.
In the 70s, there was a war over... All right, tell us more about this, Grandad. Oh, it's going to be one of his war stories.
Come here to learn. You didn't know that, right? So there's a war over cod, right? So if there was a war over cod, what kind of war is there going to be over billions being stolen by the Icelanders?
We've got nuclear weapons and they haven't. So we should say to them, look, give us the money back or we'll turn you into dust land. Is it the government's plan to sort of curb excessive drinking? Like bars, I didn't realise this. Bars give free drinks to women. I didn't know that. So it's sort of like a trap. So they're going to stop them giving free drinks. In a bar, women will accept free drinks. If I stand on my front step with a can of Kestrel and a woman goes past and goes, "Do you want a swig?" They run off.
There's something different between being at a bar and people giving you drinks and having your spit on a bottle outside your house.
What I do, Sarah, is I pour it into my shoe so they don't have to take it from the house.
My mistake. The election in the United States, it's really do or die because it's Barack Obama, who's awesome, and John McCain, who's horrifying, and even more horrifying, his running mate, Sarah Palin. She is everything gross about a pageant contestant, but without the desire for, like, world peace. Really?
Yeah.
I went to a fundraiser for Barack Obama, and it was really exciting because it was in Los Angeles, and it was really like a who's who, and I could walk right up to him. You know, this was like a year ago, and I wanted to think of a smart question, you know, so I go up to him, and I'm like, Senator Obama, when you were a student in Boston, did you encounter any racism? And he said something really interesting. He said, "I'm Kanye West."
8% of men have secretly used dancer-sized videos to keep themselves in shape. True or false?
I don't think they're using them to stay in shape, to be honest. They're popping them on and going, "Yeah, I'm just staying in shape, love. That's all I'm doing."
Sarah, are you attracted to a man that can dance?
I like a manly man, but I like a man who will let himself be vulnerable enough to try dancing.
There's 6 blokes here. Let's see, chair dancing, right? Who's got the best moves for Sarah and see which one turns her on.
Yeah, let's definitely start with you.
Let's start with, OK.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good start.
Oh, got a little bit dizzy now. Steve?
Oh, God.
Come on.
I'm going to take you old school.
Oh, no. Sarah's close. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were rubbing a cat.
Is this
your turn? There he goes.
Quite high in the air.
I've actually been dancing for the whole show, but I've been doing the river dance, so there's no upper body movement whatsoever. The whole show I've been dancing away happily. While you lot have been playing your panel game, I've been throwing f***ing shapes under here.
There is a version of this show that goes out in Ireland, which is just Alan's feet.
Very popular it is too, but if you want some upper body stuff, what about that?
You realise whoever wins this, you have to
Yeah, here we go.
Now the high point, ladies and gentlemen, what you've all been waiting for.
It's just a bit of that.
Nice.
Not too much, you know.
Oh, keep those orderlies away, they're stealing my stuff.
Well, I like to take things slowly, so usually what I do is I start off with...
Sarah, what do you think? Who's the best dancer?
Who was the sexiest?
I wish I could say all of you. I love Jason personally, but I would have to say Sean because he kind of just broke through and it was funny.
Well done, Sean.
Thank you.
Well done, man.
Go on, Sean. Do you want to wait till after?
Can I have it later?
Most desirable superpower.
I'd like to be really smart all the time and have one hand is an iron. I'm always really smart. And everywhere I go, people go, isn't he smart?
Welcome to my world.
My superpower fantasy is invisibility. I would find somebody I hate and take a massive shit over them. But think about it. They're sitting there having lunch with their parents. Bang, you're covered in shit. And I'm gone.
This is turning into a real think tank.
Yeah. In Harry Potter, they've got that invisibility cloak, haven't they? But Ron never uses it for evil, does he? It's always for good, isn't it? You never see at any point him sneaking into Hermione's room and having a little look at a Gryffindor.
Sarah, if you could have a superpower, what do you think you'd go with?
I would
want the power to eat anything I want, and then it takes the nutrients out, and then I vomit in like a perfect ball, everything else, but it's mint flavored. Or no, just a fly, I think.
I'll put you down for both.
Okay.
Excellent. If you had a superpower?
I'd like to be able to run faster than the speed of sound.
You should just wish to walk at the speed of us. I'm sorry.
You kind of got it earlier. What did you say earlier?
Invisibility.
Correct answer.
Oh, I'll do. Brilliant.
Next question. Best way to break up with someone?
You're amazing, but I'm turned off by that.
I remember an ex-girlfriend of mine that I broke up with. She was moaning because she says some shops, there's a conspiracy. And she said to me at one point, she went, why am I a size 10 in that shop, but I'm a size 12 in that shop? I said, well, because there's a McDonald's in the middle, wasn't there?
And you broke up because of
and
that?
We broke up over the Big Mac. Not over it, like, give it me, you fat
You could probably get a pretty clean slate just from, like, a well-faked death.
What would happen if you bumped into them again?
I didn't think about it that far, Jason.
She just told you she was dead. Move on.
A friend of mine, when his relationships were getting too serious, used to leave his herpes medication lying around.
Friend of yours, was it?
Yeah, friend of mine.
Yeah, you can laugh. I f***ed him earlier.
Not you, it's me, or... It's
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take it then.
Yes, the best way to break up with someone is to blame yourself. I couldn't find the words to break up with my last girlfriend. There was nothing in the phrase book. In the end, I went with me not love you long time.
As a guess, you know.
Go on.
Well, I think maybe it's got something to do with our panellist Luke there. Because Luke, you went into the house as a kind of sort of a strange sort of politician type. you came out. You didn't come out. That's the wrong.
I'm semi-insulted by that.
You're semi-insulted? Do you mean you've got a semi and you're insulted?
No, I'm just semi-insulted.
You're a bit insulted. Just looking at you, Danny, has awakened something deep within him.
But you came out, in many ways, as one
Please
half.
change how you say that. I didn't come out.
You minced out.
Thank you.
Did you go in there thinking that you would find love?
God, no. I went in there and I found this woman who drinks, she smokes, she swears. I don't drink, smoke and swear. And honestly, I became infatuated with her. It was like something off the Discovery Channel looking at different species. But at the same time, I can't imagine not being with this creature, this woman right now.
Yes, listen,
I agree,
Luke, can I just take to one side, man to man? When you're with a woman, yeah, nice not to refer to her as a creature. Even love or bird is fine. Not it.
Bird is derogatory towards women, I think.
Whereas creature is fine.
Of course.
Sorry, my mistake. I'm learning from the master.
It was like the Discovery Channel, though, wasn't it? It was like when you see a lion eating a zebra. I think just
like a walrus eating a crab stick.
Rex and Nicole. It was a most insanely hellish union, wasn't it? I loved it. I was entranced by it.
I think one of the reasons I liked it was because I know people like that. They're in a relationship with someone that they clearly hate,
So
and you
do
go,
I.
what's going on?
I love the bit where it's like, what's the matter? Nothing. But what is it? There's something. Nothing. What is it? Nothing. Well, you should know. If it's nothing, why the should I know? What are you talking about?
For me, Rex has been the only one who's been himself all the way through from the beginning. The problem is, of course, himself is a right twat.
I don't know. Why do you say that?
I just don't like him. I think he's a greasy knobhead.
He's bright, he's astute, he cuts through the crap, he can make soup, he can make lunch, he's all right.
Yeah, but I imagine the only reason he makes soup is so he can stare at his own reflection.
Ziggy, was your relationship with Chanel as fraught as their relationship?
Probably, yeah. I think relationships in the house don't really work full stop, to be honest with you. It's hard. You know, people are bigging people up and people are bringing people down and sort of go deep on everyone. But...
Can someone get him a guitar? Yeah. People bigging me up and they bring me down.
He did at one point say, he said to her, do you want a holiday or do you want a present? Right, and then he threw in, bearing in mind this present, Jodie Marsh has got one.
I'm mates with Jodie Marsh. She lives next door to my best mate. He's built his house so his bedroom overlooks her garden.
Is your...
That's a good vote. That makes him sound a bit like a stalker, Brian.
Is your best mate Barry George?
No! I like Jodie Marsh, she's cool. She does the thing with the belts.
That's her. You have to admit, she has got a little arse on the end of her nose there.
No! She's beautiful!
She has.
She's beautiful in real life. I think it's distinctive.
It is distinctive. As distinctive as a little arse on the end of your nose can be.
Charlie, you're saying Jodie Marsh is attractive, but she couldn't touch you, surely. You're a South London it girl.
Oh, can we just leave the whole it thing alone now? I'm sick of it. Honestly, I really am. And
Whatever. Don't cry.
I'm not bloody crying, am I?
All right.
For frick's sake, I've had enough.
I've got Alex back there. Don't kick off.
Hey, excuse me, Alan. I mean...
Must have been you two. You were the first couple in the Big
Because
Brother
at the
house.
audition, I'll tell you now, at the audition, they said, who's Mario and who's Lisa? And I went, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Mario.
And that's how we got on.
So what do you do for the next hour of your act? No, I'm not. I'm actually Mario.
Finished.
I've always wanted to ask this. Is there any part of your anatomy at all that you don't loofah?
Exfoliate. We are now the face of exfoliation.
We're getting to every crevice.
You exfoliate your
Every
crevices.
orifice.
The face of exfoliation. If you do it anymore, you'll be the skull of exfoliation. Let's have a look and see whether Mario and Lisa are one of the most talked about things this year. Yes, they are. Lisa is every man's dream. That is, if you're having that scary dream where one of your mates dresses up as Pocahontas. Some say Mario looks like Sylvester Stallone, which he takes as a compliment. But what they're really saying is, you look like an old Italian man who's had a stroke.
Stroke of luck.
I think someone's broken Lisa.
Potentially the most aggressive woman, apart from Charlie, I'm imagining, that has ever walked the earth. Alexandra. Charlie, just out of interest... See, already? I just said your name.
Is that your response to you're a bit aggressive is shut up?
Yeah. Charlie, can I ask you, who would win in a fight between you and Alex?
Do you mean physical or like mentally? Like, do you mean?
No one's going to win in a mental fight between you two.
Do you mean like that?
Yeah, definitely that.
Charlie, mental fights, I think they call them arguments.
Well, I'm not being funny. Oh, shut up. I'm
In a
not
physical...
being I'm not fighting with Alex, because I'm not being funny. I don't do that. I'm like, that's so unclassy. But maybe she might... No, but come on, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go around punching up people, but...
No, be serious. Would you win in a fight, physically?
If I was to punch someone, I'd probably punch someone in the audience, because you know when they just get on your nerves sometimes? So if I was that sort of person...
I think we may have a winner in the aggression thing.
What do you think of Alex?
The bookie said at one point that she was as popular as the plague, but really, the plague was pretty popular, wasn't it? Because loads of people had it.
At the end of the day, yeah, fair enough. We all know she weren't, she weren't a nice person. I mean, you've got the audience every time I go on something for Channel 4 or whatever. They're like, boo, he's so bloody boring now. Do you know what I mean?
Can we show it? Easy. Not to my Charlie.
I bet they still sit at their windows going, get Charlie out. A year down the line. It's so,
Charlie, someone give me the tranquilizer gun. It's for your own good. It's for your own good.
Get Charlie out. Get Charlie out. Get Charlie out.
Do you know what? No, do you know what? F it, I'm off, mate. I want a fag anyway, so you can keep saying what you want. Because I said today... Are you lot? I got mans outside this building. Trust me, so solid. Don't do that.
Charlie.
Remember I told you. Yeah?
OK, this is a question. Would one of them have to die?
Sean, you're not entering into the spirit of this. We're not going to kill one of them and let you wear their skin. Let me push you on an answer. Jason's team, who do you want to be reincarnated as?
Probably Charlie, and I'd just walk around with a picture of Alex going, see, I'm not that bad. Not that bad at all. That was a compliment.
I get them all day, every day. I'm sick of them, to be honest with you.
No, you don't.
All right.
You don't. Yeah, you don't. What was the last compliment someone gave you? Go on.
I said... Judging.
I said my last
f***ing laugh.
Oh, sit down.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think, and I don't want this to sound like a panto, but I think if we all apologise, Charlie will probably come back.
So, Charlie.
Let's all on three. Let's all say sorry. 1, 2, 3.
You f***ers. Get Charlie in. Get Charlie in.
Get Charlie in. And thanks, Charlie.
It
Very good of you to come back. Thanks very much.
You're welcome, darling. I didn't want to spoil the show, you know, an asset
Well,
like
this is
me.
the round where we're using you, so it's handy to have you back for that. All right, let's kick on. Sean's team, who would you be reincarnated as?
Charlie.